fits the bill.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Jeudy. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault. 7 yards, the pickup there. To throw again on second down. Wilson. This will be caught. Jeudy. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Now Wilson on first down. He'll drop this down to Williams. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now here's a throw that's complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 13 now, they work on first and 10. To throw again is Wilson. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Seahawks force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one one bit. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's first and goal. Here's Wilson to throw. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Broncos have taken the lead. The point after is good, and that makes the score 14-7. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Fielded just outside the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. And they've got a little under 40 seconds to go if they want to try to put something together here. On first down, Wilson. Open man, he completes it to Judy. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sutton. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
It's been a tremendous season of football, but it's not over yet. One half remains to decide who will stand on the podium with the Vince Lombardi Trophy. And to call the second half, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And through one half at least, this Super Bowl has been everything it was cracked up to be. All tied. What's your key for them, Charles, in the second half?
Simplicity, partner, because in the Super Bowl, with the extra time at halftime, I think some staffs get caught up in trying to design too many things. It's all tied up. They have to remember what they did to get here, put that back into play here in the second half, and I think they'll be all right.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On second down, Williams. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. On the ground, this is Williams. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Off the draw, here's Williams. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Wilson's throw into the hands of the receiver, Shenault.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On second down, it's Williams. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to convert on third and short yardage with a gain of 4.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Gotta give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away, and that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Now the defense is going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. He's got his tight end fan. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line. So that one will be accepted. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. The quick slant caught. Touchdown, Broncos. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Taken in at the 3. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. Good day for him so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the 3rd quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, it means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. Here's 2nd and 8. Flush to his right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty is a result of that hit there.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
42 yards rushing for him now to this point. With a heavy set out there, 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They run again with Hunt. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, and that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They go play action here on first down. The 20, 10, touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. And we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for two, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver's offense ready to go again. And this Super Bowl has been as good as advertised. Probably one of the best that we've seen in recent memory. All even here in this fourth quarter. Wilson. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now he'll escape to his Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
They'll run on first down. Hunt. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 70 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
Hunt. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just heading straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play.
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. But the situation very simple here. Late game, down 7. They've got to get it in the end zone.
And the best players know how to be calm in these situations because you know right now his pulse is like a jackhammer. So how does he rein it in, make sure the team has a little bit of calm, coupled with that sense of urgency, got to walk that line a little bit, but get it downfield in order to score, and then put the pressure on the guy who kicks the ball because he could tie the game.
It's been a fun game. It all comes down to this. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. That catch good for only a couple.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Pass incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. This is the tight end fan. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
The nice thing is that you've still got all your timeouts in the middle of the field. That should still be an option, especially if you see the defenders pinching the sideline. You can run a little seam route right here and pick up some nice yardage.
Wilson to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now Wilson. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. Now still down 1. Here's an utterly critical extra point attempt here. And it is good. There were about 70,000 people about to turn blue from holding their breaths, but it's good, and this Super Bowl is tied. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway, past the 20. And he's going to take it all the way into the end zone. What a return, and they've taken the lead.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown. Late in the game, they look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together, make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
Extra point up and through, and they will take a 7-point lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. So Russell Wilson and the offense down by 7, 47 seconds remaining. And they have to have a touchdown to level this Super Bowl as they come up on first down. Able to find Judy, and he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's Wilson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this this point in the game. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Throwing now is Wilson. Complete to Shenault. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. And now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
Well, if you're a fan of offensive football, this game is for you because this one's been much more like a tennis match than a football game. Back and forth, and there's another example right there of another big play in the passing game.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra set. Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In a regular season, only 1 period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
Now it's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Not laying back defensively. They blitzed right there first play in OT.
The game's changed a bit, hasn't it? I'm telling you, when we were kids, most of the time you'd lay back, not necessarily prevent defense, but you want everything in front of you and hope that the offense made a mistake. Now people aren't counting on that, and they're going after and being aggressive. Of course, if they pick up your blitz, it could be a big play for the offense.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles, and his feet never stop moving?
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chris Barnes able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. 13 yards remaining on 2nd down. They'll hand it off now. Williams. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On third down, Wilson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. This is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2. 81 yards rushing for him now as he was just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the run, this is Hunt. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it's enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now back to throw. Flushed out right. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down or big yardage. Because whether you're in zone or man, it's easy to lose track of him because you don't always have someone assigned to him. And once he goes, now everybody's scrambled to try and tackle him. Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Inside the 5 to the 4.
We give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Now we're going to get a timeout with 5 seconds left here in overtime. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Now we're going to get a timeout with 5 seconds left here in overtime. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. The field goal is through the uprights, and they've won the Super Bowl. And the Seahawks are the class of the NFL. Seattle wins the Super Bowl. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all off season, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
in this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports. Unit now. On the left hash, officially it's called a... Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a lot. The big fella. The 40. The 20.
Oh, my goodness.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. 58 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. So a pretty wild turn of events there. Instead of a sure 3 points, it's 6 the other direction.
And if you're kicking in the NFL, that should be pretty much automatic, but I don't think that's on him at all. The protection broke down. That led to the block. The passing situation.
For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Now back to throw. Buying time to his left. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And some room to roam now. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big play there on the catch and run. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
So the big... The Seahawks. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone.